I'm back. Okay. So this is the video. I wrapped up the other one about some aspects of Uranus and Taurus and how looking at beauty and all the processes that come to form beauty and the processes that we form, and looking at that as a beautiful thing, and looking at the mechanisms and how it's like just beautiful, and appreciating that and appreciating your own uniqueness in that, and not judging other people and stuff like that. So that was that. Now I am going to talk about another aspect in my chart. My moon is in the 12th house, and so Saturn's already kind of like in Aquarius whooping my ass. It's only really, it's the 6th house, because that's where it is for me. It's about like health and like day-to-day stuff and shit like that. And so what's happening with this Uranus and this Saturn and all this other shit that's going on, it's like forcing me to come out of my shell in terms of all of the things that I considered I wouldn't fit the bill for. With, it's like deep subconscious fears based off of very surface level like obstacles. That's how I would see it. So like the 12th house and the 6th house for me, and this is how I think about it, sits on the axes of experiences, whether you're psychological, like subconscious, conscious, like experiences, or you're like lived out day to day interacting with people experiences. One is in your mind that can like affect your outer world and vice versa. So for me, understanding that these like rooted issues are like deep, but like the reasons and the threshold to like cross it isn't really that hard. Like, and like part of it is kind of where you, there's kind of like this not mirroring effect, but like being in a place, you know, when you have those like horror movies or psychological like thriller movies or whatever, when the person goes into like this place and there's a bunch of fucking mirrors and they're like standing there and they're like turning around and like there's all these things, and then it zooms in and they're laughing and then they're crying, and you're just like, is this person having a breakdown, or is this like, are they the monster? That's exactly kind of what it is. Are you the monster? And so it's like, I'm the monster. And so one thing that I wanted to say about this aspect, because people could have 12th house like transits going on, so it doesn't really matter to me if you have your moon in there. To me, it's if you have a lot of transits going through your fixed houses or your mutable houses. So what I wanted to, ooh, thank God I don't have no pits. So I wanted to say though, when I was thinking about this, that the darkness is here to save you. And so this is something that I learned. So again, this is kind of like from my own perspective based on my chart, but like somebody probably needs to hear this and someone probably would like this perspective. But this is basically me thinking about Pluto and Aquarius, which is Pluto versus my moon. And so the darkness is saving you. What happens, I'm going to say, opposes or squares the like 12th house, or I'm going to say that, yeah, is that the Pluto's darkness can serve you. And because Pluto is in a mental sign, it can really help transform your mind wherever it is. Transform your mind about how you previously thought this stuff is, and not necessarily become formulaic, but to develop a formula and a system which allows you to incrementally overcome your obstacles, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3. The thing with that is, one of the pitfalls is just like when you miss a step or you botch a step or you feel like you've advanced beyond this formula, not to feel like you have to be so stuck in, because Aquarius is so fixed that you may feel like you really have to go through a formula. And fixed signs, so that's Scorpio, that's Leo, that's Taurus, that's Aquarius, are very good at sticking with the fucking program. Sticking with the program, not moving past that, not going past that, not going past go. Doing exactly what they need to do and not a bit more and not a bit less. And so that's kind of hard when you need to like go beyond or like tone it down, you know? But Pluto and Aquarius, the darkness serves you. It's not letting the darkness taking over you, but letting it run its course in terms of seeing something through to the end, not seeing like evil deeds or something like that through to the end, seeing your whole psychological journey through to the end, right? So in our lifetime, we're probably only going to get one. For me, I know I'm only going to get, I'm only going to get one Pluto and air transit, right? I'm going to get possibly 2 waters, 2 fires, possibly, and 1 earth. Like 2 earths is pushing it, because like I'll literally be like damn near like 100 basically. So pushing through the psychological barriers of your mind, wherever that is Pluto and Aquarius to me. And the darkness serves you because you can go through the darkness and then you can see the light. And then Uranus, Aquarius represents Uranus, which produces electricity and light. Leo on its own is like natural light, right? And so it's kind of like this whole process is supposed to enliven your own light source, psychologically journey and develop it, and then produce light for other people, right? The thing with Aquarius though, and I think why Aquarius and Leo may bump heads, is that Aquarius, if it's in a really bad aspect, may not see that Leo's process for producing light is kind of the same, and that there's certain actions that it has to go through. There's a certain tunnel that it has to go through, right? It has to go through all that scientific shit to produce it, right? To become a star, it has to go through all of this process. I think Aquarius may feel sort of artificial in a way. I can kind of see how Aquarius feels like maybe Leo is a natural light versus artificial light. And the thing with that is that they both serve their purposes, right? Natural light inspires the thought processes of artificial light, that could be a reality essentially. Like Leo was somebody shining so bright that they inspired someone else to produce their own light. You know what I'm saying? And then you produce your own light through that process, and then it shines a light on someone else's natural light, and then they shine their light, and then someone sees their light and shines their light, and people are looking. It's like it goes back and forth, and it helps people. You shining your own natural God-given, energy-given, personally developed talent like Leo, right, with the heart, helps to shine a light and inspire others, which is kind of humanitarianism, to then go and seek out their own fulfillment, which in turn turns on their own personal light, and that light that shines pays it forward. So let the darkness take its course. And so you might find yourself in really boxed in psychological holes at this time. Just be very careful and wary of that. You know, Pluto and Aquarius is also beginner's mind. I'm gonna have to do another video on this, but beginner's mind. Let me write that down so I don't forget, cause I be like, beginner's mind. And so we might be turning over information age, back up all your shit, just make sure everything. And it would be wise to pick something that you're basically a novice at and then start with that, because those things are going to be important, and that process of learning something else brings to the forefront some psychological foibles that need to be worked out within you, and really helps you to develop yourself and possibly bring you into spaces that psychologically you've had obstacles for, and it happens to be very deep rooted, but it's like the psychological thing in hindsight will be like a very minuscule like concept. You know, it's like that concept that has like, okay, it's that concept in like a textbook that like has like one known case, but it just so happens that you're the known case. And how you help people is by being the known case, you now have an experience that you can go through and catalog, and that is your light, and then you can go and shine the light. And so you're building this encyclopedia, Wikipedia, whatever you want to call it, of knowledge base based on that very unique experience that you're having. Another thing that I said was for Aquarius, because we're in Pluto, you can't really be so selective about who you want to heal. So the thing with like fixed signs is I kind of feel like they have this, like, I don't want to say savior complex, but like this complex about who is deserving or not. And so like that shit's gotta go. You gotta help whoever it is you have to help. And there's a come as you are thing too. So making sure that like you're not judging people based on how they look, how they act, because they can provide great healing for you and you can provide great healing for them. And it's like being in love with someone you never thought, like, you have these criterion, and then and then like he has to be like 6'4", and then you marry because you're like, you know, 5'8" or 5'10" or something like that, and then you marry someone who's like 5'6". Yeah. So basically, don't be selective about who you can heal, and don't be selective about how you can heal. Don't fix yourself in boxes. This is something with fixed signs. Don't fix yourself in boxes about how you can heal people. You might be very surprised at the mental prowess that you have that goes beyond that dictionaries, that medical diction, you know, the saying, that psychic spiritual dictionary. You know, you might be that one case. There might be new things coming up, new cases, diseases. You know, they're always finding like new diseases, new animals, insects, and shit like that. So why don't you, you know, you should think that that is something that can be applied to you as well. And so Pluto in Aquarius is expanding the encyclopedia of knowledge. And I think it begins with beginner's mind, and it begins with understanding that you have to go through the entire psychological process and live to tell the tale. So those are two things that I wanted to say. I'll be doing more on Pluto and Aquarius because I wrote some other things regarding like bilingualism, and then Pluto and Pisces is going to be a nice one too. So thank you for watching. This took longer than I thought, but thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.